I'm Arnout RR2DO2 van Meer. I'm the technical director for Splash Damage. I work with that since the start, basically 5 years ago now.
I'm Wils Wilson. I'm the lead designer.
I'm Frankie Hobbins. I'm the lead artist.
Okay, and I've got some modding questions for you guys. The first one is about the levels. Can we do levels similar to Doom 3 or Quake 4 in Quake Wars?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can pretty much do anything you could do in Doom 3. Anything in Wolfie as well. So that's yeah.
Okay, and another one on levels. What is the size limit on a level?
The size limit, actually in world units, it's if you compare it to Quake units, it would be 30,000 units. This is our average playable map. You can go smaller than that if you want to. You could go bigger as well, but that's a lot of work.
Is it harder to optimize maps for enemy territory Quake Wars than it was for Quake 4 and Doom 3?
It's not so much harder as different. There are different factors. We have different visibility. So whereas in Quake 4 and Doom 3 it's all portal based, so you know what you can see based on what portals are open. In our game it's mostly distance based, and it's also like custom code as well. So it's a different set of optimization.
If level designers want an extremely huge level, and we know that everything's forced rendered, so the terrain's all rendered, can we put in a view limit with the weather system that will chop off the renderer?
At the moment, there's no such system implemented. I think
you don't really need it. You can call things over distance, and you can bring the fog in close. So you can do you do the total positive things, and you've basically got that.
Okay, and for levels, one of the things I'm interested in is doing levels that are more RTS style. Like my favorite was Command and Conquer. You'd have a navy. Can people make a navy of vehicles that are palatable and have them actually attack?
if they want to do it, there's nothing stopping them from
it. You could do. I mean, right now you could do that without touching the code at all. You could do it on the script.
So the model system is very similar to Quake 4, or the same as Quake 4.
It's it moved on a little bit from that, but it's similar to Quake 4.
You know how to do Quake 4 models, you know how to do ET models.
And is the game really easily moddable out of the box like Doom 3, or is it like Quake 4 and we'll have to wait for the SDK?
The source code likely will ship like I don't know how much data, but we'll try to obviously get close to as possible, but it won't be day one. But most of all the tools will actually ship in the game, like the world editor, basically all the atmosphere editors, the red light editor, it all ships with the game. It's the same binary.
We will have to do a separate release for like source media, so you'll get everything that we used to stamp on the mega texture and all the procedural text we used for that. They'll be available.
Is it like Doom 3 where most weapons and vehicles are script, or is it Quake 4 where you ported everything to the source code for speed?
It depends. At the moment, actually, we have a lot of stuff in script. We might move things back to the code, but
you're not sure yet.
Either way, it just depends. We're likely to end up moving a bit more towards the code, just for optimization reasons.
Okay. Now, can I take your mega textures and apply them to my own geometry, and will it work automatically?
Yeah, it would work, but obviously the texture wouldn't match up with whatever the geometry is.
The mega texture is just, that's Paul Waffle said in interviews, it's just a really big texture. So it won't, like if you have rocks in different places, it won't just accommodate that in the rocks in the mega texture or where they are painted. So if you have the rocks in the same place, yeah, sure you can do that. You could also, I guess you could just take a small section of that mega texture if you wanted a small map, just stick in the middle. But the geometry would probably be fairly similar, if not identical.
When I'm making a mega texture, can I apply properties to a material or texture that you guys did not include, such as a wooden planet?
Yeah. None of the surface types are hard-coded. It's a little text file. You can just go in there and it's all done by name.
Okay, and that works across multiplayer, no problem. I know Quake 4, you could not modify the sound effects and the special effects materials we do in multiplayer.
You can do, but you have to make sure everyone has to be in sync.
And is there an auto download function?
There will be.
There will be. Now, when I'm making textures, not the mega texture, not the material files, is there a difference between doing it in Quake 4, Doom 3, and ET?
There's a little bit. Our material system is actually slightly different. It's more advanced. We're taking more advanced of the hardware. Nowadays, because we have a slightly renderer, so you can basically work with it. It just gives you more flexibility. But for the very basic materials, it's basically the syntax is the same as it was in Quake 4. It just allows you to do some more things with that.
Is there any material or sound shader keywords or functions you guys removed or added for the game?
As I said, the material system is, even though like it might look the same on the level, and for most materials like the standard views, it's the same, but you can do much more with it, and the keywords are different. Some shaders at the moment are pretty similar. We have a few extra features there, but not much has changed.
It's nothing that you couldn't, if you know how to use the Doom 3 or Quake 4 materials, you can just adjust to that.
So a lot of what we know in Doom 3 and Quake 4 and Prey now pretty much applies to enemy territory. Okay. Now, what about textures for vehicles? Is that done like everything else, or do you need a separate skin file for that?
Each vehicle is just a whole its own skin file.
Yeah, like you said.
Okay, and now Paul was mentioning during his seminar that for terrain you could use UV mapping or mega texture. What's the space difference if you decide to use UV mapping because you want to use UV mapping?
UV mapping is, well, the mega texture is UV. You make your terrain in UV, and then the mega texture applies like.
I'm sorry. I meant vertex. Vertex textures.
Yeah, it's flexible enough that you can just do the same as Quake 4 and you have like one layer with like say rock and one layer with gravel, and you can blend the rock into the gravel using vertex commands. It's obviously only as fast as Quake 4, so you couldn't do a whole BTP slice terrain. But you could do, if you're making say like Wolf ET size map or a Quake 4 size map, you can just do that fine without you need to use mega texture.
Okay. As I said, our material system is actually a bit more advanced. If people want to, they could write a new set of hardware shaders that combines more textures than you could do with standard version mapping. So if people want to, they can actually write a fancier terrain material that doesn't use the mega texture.
Okay. How hard will it be for people to port a Quake 4 or Doom 3 map they've already started working on for enemy territory into actual enemy territory?
Is that multiple map?
I'm sorry, what?
Multiple map. Like a level or?
Yes, a multiplayer map. Like say someone right now wants to get started, so they already modeled their terrain and they have everything, they start putting it together in Quake 4.
Well, you can export the map. That's a one-way process. I would imagine most of the problem would be because you've been using Quake 4 textures. If you made your own textures, it should be different.
Okay. And now, I didn't notice any jib system in there, and no blood and gore. Is that because it's the test build, or is that because you decided to cut it out because it wasn't necessary?
Well, I think we're shooting for a team rating right now. That may change. I mean, it is an insult protocol, but yeah, it would be easy to add the possible, so we don't need it for testing.
Okay. And the recommended players was 24, correct? But you could easily make a map that could do 60, or you can make a map that could suit maybe 10.
You can make a map that would do anything. Yeah, whether it might be a while before certain performance would be good enough. It depends what you consider acceptable as well. Because I know we released Wolf ET and said 32, and then people immediately put 64, and they weren't happy with that. We weren't, because we didn't think it was going to be not fast enough. And it's maybe never we weren't to accept. People, some people find with lag if they have a really big epic level.
Okay. And when you design a level, can you do levels that don't have a ground, like they're all floating platforms and you have an abyss underneath, or like something from Star Wars?
I mean, you could do your standard like Quake 3, Quake 4, space floats on that.
Okay. So this is a question for getting ready for mega texture. If I have texture for mega texture, like say I want this cement right here, can I take this cement, put it in Photoshop, make it like 1,000 by 1,000 pixel, 1,024 by 1,024, and then I can tell mega texture whatever angle is